Hi everyone, welcome to our newly introduced series, The Finance Story Daily, where we bring you insights, trends, stories to enable you make better decisions. So whenever I speak to any tax professional, who's outside of Dubai, UAE, they're also curious as to what's currently happening in GCC, especially Dubai and Riyadh. Since it's more than 2 years that corporate tax has been announced, and it's almost a year since it became effective, technically 8 months. So, to give us a better understanding of market opportunities, hiring trends, we have with us Hany, who's an associate partner at WTS Dhruva, and Nirav, who's a partner at Aurifer. Hani and Nirav, thank you so much for joining in, and thanks for making the time, in the morning. Thanks a ton.
Sure, happy to be here.
Thank you. And everyone who's joining in, thank you so much for making the time. If you have any questions, please type in. We'll take it directly. So, the whole focus, Hani and Nirav, of this conversation is to basically help us understand what's happening in the market. It's not a technical session, what's happening in the market, hiring trends, and your insights. So, Hani, we'll start with you. Okay. The first most obvious question is, what motivated you to specialize in taxation, okay, and why the UAE? I know you've got an amazing pedigree of work across the last few years, be it Egypt, Saudi, heading tax in various large organizations. So tell me why the UAE and what led you to tax.
No, I didn't choose tax. It chose me. No, I started my career as an accountant in many companies, many small companies, medium companies. But the main purpose or the main interesting part on tax that it's keep it changing every day. Okay, so when you wake up in the morning, I always what I doing first thing in the morning that I open my mobile and see what is the changes happening in the market. So it give you energy every day that there is something new, something new, something new. Uh, and of course, when I start to work on tax field or tax area, I started to realize that it's a very dynamic one, very good also for our mentality that to keep energizing you every day to think about something different, something what can happen tomorrow, what can happen after 1 hour. So it's a mix of many factors together. I started my role in tax in Egypt some years back. Then I moved to GCC. If you recall, also, Chantel, we discussed this before.
Yes. Yes.
I moved from Egypt to KSA. I moved on the same package I was having in Egypt at this time. So, and some of the people, some of my friends, they told, ask me, Hani, how come you have a good position, good company, why you are moving on same package? Nothing. We didn't see any benefit for you. I told them, no, see, guys, now I need to move to increase my experience in other region. So you need to have like this, like a curve. You like this, and you have to go a little bit like this. Then you go up again. So I moved to KSE, and mainly when I moved to KSE, one of my main focus areas that my role it will be focusing in the as a regional role, not only country perspective.
Yeah.
Even at this time, I was approaching by other companies, by other recruiter, but only all of them KSA only, Kuwait only, Qatar only. But I found this good opportunity in KSA for the regional role. Then I moved. Then from there, I started to expand my experience with other companies, other multinational companies. But again, same role, focusing on Middle East, including GCC. So yeah, this is a big journey, but this is in summary.
Yes. Yes, honey. I will ask you a few more questions later on, and I always follow your latest updates. Be it Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, you're always updating all of us about taxes, about what's
And
happening.
this is
So thank you.
by the way, it's not all. It's only a small portion.
Okay, thank you. And then I make an article out of it. So yeah. Thanks, honey. Okay,
Thank you.
so Nirav, about you. Okay, so you're from Mumbai. You moved
Yes.
to the UAE. So can you just tell us a little bit about yourself as well, and what's Aurifer about, and what's your role there? In short. Yeah.
Sure, sure. So I think I did my internship back in 2008 with our ex ICI president, Mr. C.A. Nihar Jambusaria, right? So obviously we all know his area of focus and practice has been taxation, not just corporate tax but international tax, double tax treaties, transfer pricing, and so on. So I kind of got the zest and the enthusiasm to kind of delve deeper into taxation from him. And then slowly, gradually, I picked up mostly on indirect taxes. I spent almost half of my career in indirect taxes. And then I came to this region back in 2017. And since then, again, that time I was still looking into VAT, but coming into this region kind of gave me a bit more exposure in terms of new taxes, which I was not deep diving at that point in time. And then I ventured out looking at Saudi, looking at the neighboring countries in GCC, and finally UAE introduced the corporate tax back in 2022. They started with the announcement, and
Yeah.
I have been monitoring corporate tax since then, and it is practically a very good opportunity for people who are not really too experienced in corporate tax to get into corporate tax. Somebody like me, right? And today, it's something like bread and butter. So every day we read something new about taxation, keeps us driven, motivated, and at the end of the day, we are helping an economy, right? We are helping businesses, we are helping the tax authorities. So it's a bit of everything bundled together, connected, with the dots of taxes. So that's how I started my journey. And I think, talking about Aurifer, this firm was founded back in 2017 by Thomas Van. He's our founding partner. The headstone was laid by him, and then I joined him in 2019. And since then, yes, it's been almost 4+ years. I've worked with Thomas. We are practically a tax boutique firm, just trying to do our bit in the tax world. And we work with several tax authorities, with several multinationals, small.
I can't hear you.
Sorry, can you hear me
Yeah.
now?
Yeah.
Oh, so yes, we help the clients and tax authorities, in the best way possible, using our expertise and skills. So yeah, that's pretty
Amazing.
much about me and Aurifer.
Amazing. Okay, so now our next question is what everyone wants to know about. Okay, so it's almost a year, 2 years since it was introduced, announced, and almost a year since it's effective right now. So what's happening in the market right now? So, Hani, would you want to take this first? What's happening in the market? What's your view on the market? Earlier we saw a lot of hiring happening, a lot of noise. Is it still present? How are businesses looking at it? Is it going to translate again in 2024, 2025? So, over to you.
Yeah, see, in UAE market, when the CET introduced, a lot of hiring it happened, but still also hiring on a very high demand level. In my personal view, my person perspective, it can be a little bit slow down on 2024 during this year. Not slow down, meaning that it will go dramatically, but still hiring will be on track, but not like last year. But it will be increased again in 2025. Why? Maybe someone will ask me why it can happen. Because some of the taxpayer in the market, they are waiting for their first tax year filing in 2025, and they will start to prepare themselves from maybe end of this year. So by preparing themselves for annual filing, they can realize they need someone in house to be dedicated for corporate tax. In addition, also if he can manage VAT as well. The demand, it will be higher again in the market now. What I can see, the high demand on the mid senior level, especially like manager and senior manager and maybe assistant manager, because the companies or the client or the taxpayer, they need someone who will have some good experience and he can manage daily work on side the organization. And also some years back or many years back, the very senior role already knew, he already created, already there, already set up for, especially for head of taxes, tax directors, because they are managing the role or the region from UE. So it's already stable. Maybe someone can move from here, like chess game here for this country, this country. But I saw, and noticed and witnessed many big names, even companies that they didn't have a dedicated tax team or tax head or tax manager. They started now to create a tax structure, and even they start to consider, as long as they are now creating a tax structure and tax team, they want to also as well to cover other countries, including GCC and Middle East, to be managed or to be controlled by UE as well. Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. So, Hani, I'll just ask you on this. So, when you talk about a lot of companies are looking at creating a tax team and they're already structuring it. Many of them have already, hired tax heads. A lot of them have not even started, right? So, there are a lot of people watching would want to start applying for such roles, and they would like to understand a little more. So, what would you say? Like, how do you see them hiring? What are they looking for? Because as a consultant, you would have a strong idea and connection with that.
Yeah, so mainly they are looking for someone who have a tax experience, not necessary to be new E, because UE is a new baby born, so it's 1 year only. But taxes is taxes everywhere. So they are mainly looking for someone have a background, tax experience, especially maybe 70, 80% from the taxpayer or companies. They are looking for someone who have experience in a complicated tax regime like India, like Egypt, like KSA. There are also some people moving from KSA, hiring some people from there. Uh, and as I mentioned, also not the majority of the companies looking for mid-senior level. So we are talking about 4 years, 5 years, 6 years experience. If we start to speak about 10 years experience, then we will go for senior level hiring process or hiring requirement. Mainly, what I notice, and also Niraf can elaborate more. Companies are looking for mainly corporate and international tax guys now, candidates now. Some cases, of course, you will need VAT, but VAT already 5 years back already implemented, so they already have VAT guys in the market on ground. But they are looking for corporate tax, international tax, and some of the vacancies or some of the opportunity related to transfer pricing, but little bit rare or lower one if we compare with the market. Yeah, that's it.
Amazing. Neera, what would you like to add to this?
Yeah, I think I completely agree with Hani. It's mostly the mid experience kind of professionals where the industry is mostly opening up. Again, international taxation and corporate taxation kind of blend in pretty well together. A lot of companies that exist in this region or who want to kind of enter this region, it's a very good time because the markets are now opening up, right? UAE no longer falls in the EU's or OECD's blacklist or grey list. Now that practically opens door for inbound investment. Companies that were present in the region in a very pseudo manner now can actually have a physical presence, set up organizations and companies and structures, and kind of obviously they'll need people. They'll need people who will be experienced or may have some experience, like Hani said, like 4 to 5 years or 5 to 6 years, wherein they could come in the roles of tax managers, and they could look at the implementation of corporate tax. They could help companies navigate in terms of calculating their CIT liabilities. How do we take the double tax treaty benefits, because UAE has signed already 100 plus treaties as on date. So again, that is also one of the areas where companies do like to optimize their structures and their tax benefits, let's say. So I think yeah, that is a segment where most of the individuals and professionals would like to target. I believe, in my view as well.
Okay.
And Chantel, Nirav and me spoke about companies. We didn't speak about advisory firm because it's out of discussion. They are
Yes.
hiring massively. Okay, so they are
Yes.
hiring for each level you can imagine. So that's why we didn't touch it, because it's already there. So advisory firm already there, hiring from zero experience to partner level.
Yes.
Okay. So advisory firms are hiring a lot.
Yes, yes, yes,
Okay,
yes.
Surely.
you can touch base a lot. You can touch base on it because there are so many people from Egypt, India, in different countries who want to get into advisory consulting from the big fours. So there's huge opportunity for them. That's what you're saying.
So big
Yes.
four only. So me and Ravi, we can disconnect now.
I think
So, so Honey, would you want to add on that? Tell us more about the advisory part.
No, okay. So advisory firms, including Big Four, of course, they are hiring massively these days because of CT in UAE. In addition, also a lot of international tax projects or client, they are now entering the market from Europe or US or Asia, especially either from UAE, but especially also going to KSA, but they have offices or companies or branches in UAE. So they want to use also their expertise to direct or guide them in exploring KSA market or Qatar or Bahrain or Kuwait. And we can see also a lot of changes happen away from KSA. KSA is dramatically they're changing from economic and tax perspective, but we can even every day see a lot of changes in Kuwait, in Bahrain will introduce corporate tax. It's already under discussion now. Qatar, Qatar they already have, but they are keep changing. So all of this changes happen in the market forced the advisory firm to increase their headcounts, to hire professional guys from either from UAE or other countries uh, for all level. For all level, I can, and Nirav also can elaborate more, but from my experience, all level are hiring. One key point here for maybe the audience will be interested. They will ask, so what will be the main criteria they are looking for the advisory firm? Or as I'm a candidate now, or I want to enter the market. So what should I do to be
Yeah.
hired by advisory firm? Maybe they will raise this question. So my answer to them: read as much as you can for especially for UE. UE we can see FTE keep releasing changes guidelines. I'm not saying that they should be expert, because even between us as a tax advisors, we keep also challenging each other about the position, about the advices. So it's natural and it's healthy in the market. But from their perspective, they need to read more as much as they can. And my advice to them to link the local regulation UE with other international tax aspects. So if they are reading something like BE as an example, he need to read about OECD, European model, so he will be able to manage the interview when he approach the other advisory firm for interview process. Sorry, I will give it rough. I will not speak too much to give them also enough to
No, this is
conclude.
great. No, this is
No,
great information.
I think
Yeah.
with the experience, Hani, you have. I think I completely agree with your points, and I would just like to add, like, when we speak or when we see candidates who come in for interviews, or when we meet new professionals as well who want to enter this market. It is interesting that this market, from an advisory point of view, has a range of people who can join in. Right, we are looking for practically all levels, and not just big fours, but like Hani mentioned, all other consulting firms as well. There's massive hirings going on. uh, Now again, there's a bit of filters, right? So it's not like 1,000 people are going to apply and all the 1,000 are going to get in the market. May not be, obviously ready for that kind of a change. But what we also see is, yes, at least 100 or maybe 200 would definitely be hired. And like, for example, UAE is still new with the whole corporate tax thing. But when we talk about other countries, right, out of the 195, 197 countries on the globe, I think a majority of them already have a corporate tax, already have been seeing, quite a lot of things in taxation. For example, Singapore has corporate tax which keeps on evolving. We see back in India as well, the tax regime is quite matured. Again, countries like Egypt, EU, everywhere
Yeah.
around. So UAE is kind of in the center, and we have a host of countries around from where people are flying in, and we see vacancies maybe for transfer pricing, which is more and more increasing on the go. International taxation, corporate tax, of course, it's one of the biggest hits, I would say. And then comes the VAT, which is slightly now, like, it's been there like 5 years, so it's okay. The vacancies for VAT is mellowing down, but the others are still growing. It's still a good time.
Amazing. This is a great discussion. Okay, I have this question. I thought of asking it later on, but I'll ask it right away since we're talking about hiring, right? What are the salary expectations that people have? Like, as soon as corporate tax is announced, the salary expectation is like, I don't know, freshers want to join in like 20, 25K, literally. Okay. So, Hani, would you want to tell us what's your take? What do you say? If there's a director or there's somebody who wants to tap on the market, what do the person start with?
So salary expectation, you mean someone moving from outside the country coming here, or from inside? Both, huh? You are talking
Both,
about.
both, both. Your point of view.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay. See, salary always as a human being, always we're looking for higher salary, higher packages.
yeah,
So that's a human being, as a human being. It's a nature for us. However, also because of I know the audience mainly people they are looking for opportunities or to move to the region here. Um, the salary scheme on the market increased after CT implemented in UAE. Okay, and I will not extend my discussion or also to other countries like KSA, but KSA also same. Its
Yep.
salary scheme increased dramatically also in last 2 3 years. So
Yep.
if someone was hired by in 10,000 K, now same position, same job description, same portfolio will be hired on 15 or 16,000 K. Okay. But however, this package or this salary only can be granted to someone who have a good experience, or someone can survive in the market, either if he work on the industry or he will work on the advisory firm. By what I'm meaning to have a good experience doesn't mean that he is a genius guy. Of course, if genius, we all also will be happy, but at least he can add value, because now I'm giving him 15K, so I'm expecting from him this 15K to be returned back for me, maybe double or triple, from his adding value to the firm. Okay.
Yep.
So in summary again, there is not I will not say, I'm not able to say, yeah, for manager he can be hired on 20, because some manager can be hired on 20, some manager 25, some manager 15, depending on his qualification, experience. But the range become higher now. So if someone is moving now to the region, if he moved 2 years, 3 years back, he will move on a lower back. But now all the market going like we discussed now for the hiring massively for all, either advisor or company. So the high demand. So meaning for high demand, of course, you need to increase or attract people. One last point, which I mentioned earlier in when we start, again, my advice: if someone he's very willing to move to the region and he has the capabilities, he has a good experience, he knows that he can compete other people here, because market, you have also
Yep.
know, and market is very very dynamic,
Yep.
very very dynamic. It's not easy to work or to survive. So if this guy or this lady he want to move, like I did many years back, I moved on the same package. It will not harm him. So because I interviewed some people, he's as an example, he's taking his current role 15K. So our budget is also 15K, 16K. He says, no, no, I'm looking for 25. So he keeps searching in the market, and at the end, he burned himself in the market.
Yep.
Everyone knows that he's looking for high budget, so no one will hire him. So if you are willing to move, also my advice to them: don't forget that you are moving to gain an extra experience. So you need to sacrifice with something. So if someone in the market already there many years back, of course he will have higher package than you, because you are coming and you want to learn, and of course you will add value, but you still have some time. So yeah, this is I will
That's
wrap
amazing.
also.
Yes, and I remember, Honey, you too mentioned earlier that when you moved from Egypt to Saudi, a lot of your friends said, like, I think you were doing really well in Egypt, but then you had to take a little bit of, a cut when you moved to Saudi, right? But you were like, it's a
Correct.
new experience, it's a new market, and you went for it. And look at you today. So the decision paid off very well. Yeah.
Exactly. I have to be patient for a couple of years, and it become very good later. So it's a matter of to be smart also when you decide. Yeah, of course, I'm not saying that or advise people that move for whatever package you have. No, because some companies can offer you something bad.
Yep.
So why
Yep.
you accept? No, you know your qualification, you know your capabilities. So don't
Yep.
move for something bad. But if you found what you are looking for, and you can find even it's a little bit lower than you are taking out, move. And believe me,
Yep.
after 1 year maximum, you will be higher than you have before.
Yep. 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 Perfect. That's amazing. Neera, would you want to add on this?
I think I'll just add. I think we have covered all the points, but I just one last point is what I would like to add is salary versus sustainability. Like Hani also
Yep.
emphasized on that enough. I think the new people who want to enter this market, they are very focused at okay, what is the package that I'm going to get? How am I going to, manage all those stuff? But I believe that it's a two-way, right? It's a commercial transaction. We have to look at it from both sides, revenue versus the cost for the companies. At the same time, for the professionals who are coming in the market, they need to see it from a long-term perspective rather than just riding the tide, because if you're there is a range of companies in this region, and you could be hired at several different levels with different kinds of packages, but you need to ensure what or where you fit the best and where you can add more value. And compared to that, then you compare the revenue that you as an individual professional are able to generate, right? So I would say it's best to strike a balance between salary and sustainability. In the long run, that's going to pay off for sure.
Amazing, amazing. So we have this at the right time by Raj. He has the same question, and he says, "Hey, I'm an international tax compliance specialist based in India with 8 years of experience in direct taxes in Europe, Middle East, and Africa and APAC region. I did secure a job in the UAE. However, unfortunately, I had to reject it due to the pay offered. So, can you please throw some light on the average pay range or thanks in advance?" I guess we've covered this. So,
Yeah.
we've covered this question,
Yeah, because
right?
we cover also difficult to say because some companies you can offer 20, some companies can offer 10,
Yeah.
15. So it's not yes or no answer for this one.
Okay. Till the salary is fair and it's not too less where you have to struggle, I think it makes sense to make the move and not, haggle for like two k here and there, 2 or 3k here and there. Because I've seen that
Exactly,
happen. Yeah.
exactly.
It will pay off. Okay, it'll pay off. Done. So I have so my next question is, Hani and Nirav, there's so much about people are actually having FOMO about not being in Dubai, not being in Saudi, especially Dubai. They want to work in Dubai and travel back and forth. So can you just tell us about the landscape? What's exactly happening in Dubai? Why is the economy taking up, so at such a steep level? Like what's happening? Nirav, would you want to take this one first?
Sure. So I think,
Yeah.
in my view, in the last 2 years or so, mostly after COVID, right, we saw how UAE responded to COVID, and that practically gave a lot of sense to the whole world, that UAE is much more
Yeah.
capable than it appears to be. It handled the pandemic in an excellent way. The safety and security of the people was taken care, and the impact per se on the businesses was also compensated in a way through different kinds of schemes, right? We also
Yeah.
saw tax amnesty scheme rolled out by the FTA, which was further extended also for a particular period of time. They still have a tax amnesty running back in Saudi Arabia as well. So we are seeing a lot of support is being offered by the government. We saw a lot of visa restrictions kind of relaxed during this period as well. Again, there was certain political issues back in Russia, Ukraine. We saw that UAE opened its boundaries for the Russians, for example. A lot of sanctions were imposed on Russian companies back in the EU, but UAE still maintained a very neutral position and handled it pretty much with ease. Right, this is all leading to opening up of the economy, right? And this is again one of the biggest reasons why UAE is rampantly growing up and implementing good policies, not just from a tax point of view, but overall we see they have several initiatives going on, and this is leading to a lot of inbound investment. And with the inbound investment, we also see everything is going to rise, right? The demand for good professionals is going to rise. The demand for finance professionals is going to rise. Definitely, with the introduction of corporate tax, this is just like into 10, right? So everything is just growing at a very fast pace. And I think it's the best time for this region, not just UAE per se, but we are even seeing so many things happening back in Riyadh, right? We saw the introduction of the RHQ regime, the regional headquarters regime back in Saudi, and again it is picking up speed. There has been introduction of corporate tax announcements back in Bahrain. We saw Kuwait becoming a member of the OECD inclusive framework. Qatar already went ahead and implemented the Pillar 2 rules. Oman trying to strike a balance between all the taxes that they have. So we are seeing a lot of potential in this region, and this is recognized by most of the territories right across the globe. So I believe that all these factors coupled together, it's a boost for the economy overall. So
Amazing.
that's obviously the byproduct of this is vacancies is going to go up, need for good professionals will go up. So it's like a byproduct. It is naturally going to happen, and that's the reason I again say that sustainability is kind of assured in a way in this region. So people who are coming here from a little bit of a broader horizon, 5 to 7 years, 5 to 10 years, they will definitely reap the benefits of all this transition which is happening right in this region.
Amazing, amazing. Honey, would you want to tell us both about the UAE and as well as Saudi, because you are like best at both. So
No, it's Nirav already covered, but maybe I can add a couple of points.
yeah,
In UAE, they have a good diverse economy, so they are not relying on oil only. So we can see they have many initiatives initiated before, and which contribute a very good in their
yeah,
economy. And UAE, it's a multicultural country. So whenever you walk here and there, you can see many faces, many colors, many culture, many mentality, which is good because people. From myself, even I like it because it even give you an experience from personality perspective, how to deal with many people, many culture, many mentality. Maybe that's why one of the main reasons that people are focusing more to work on UAE. I will not speak about the infrastructure, the government
yeah,
initiative, which Nirav already touched.
yeah,
Uh, KSA also, they are now running after UAE was on track. They are changing also dramatically from both, from either tax regime, to
yeah,
encourage people or encourage company to start to open or to perform their activity inside KSA, and also from other restrictions which already banned, can also be an obstacle for expats. Like your woman driving now,
yeah.
they are open, you can buy or you can sell. You can, yeah, it's become more flexible, and we all know that Saudi is the biggest economy in the market. So no speak about it. No, we are not able to comment because it's a huge economy, and now they're attracting very before, for quick one as an example, I just came to my mind now, which Naraf mentioned about RHQ. Saudi government now they are smart. They already knows or realize what makes people not coming to Saudi. They are waiving it, like Saudization. So for other GQs, they waived it. They said no need for Saudization because it's one of the challenging which companies facing to move to KSA. They're not able to find enough good candidate to be hired to meet the Saudization percentage. So they waived. They said, okay, you can spend 10 years in the market without Saudization. You can hire all of them expats. So these kind of things now more and more become a high demand country, and they are now, I can see also they are really hiring a very senior famous names all over the world. They are bringing them to Saudi, not like before just hiring some people, that's it. No, they are choosing now very selectively. Yeah.
Amazing. Nirav, you mentioned, because of corporate tax, the UAE has seen 10 times growth, right? There has been increase in business. So why is that? I mean, whenever there's tax, I mean, it might be a very naive question, but either of you could take it.
Yeah, I think it's a very interesting question to begin with it, but it has a significant perspective as well. So when UAE never had taxes, it was like a tax haven, and while tax havens are lucrative, in terms of setting up certain kinds of structures,
Yeah.
having taxation gives a lot of confidence to international business organizations. So for example, being implementing corporate tax has led UAE to come out of the grey list and blacklist of the OECD and the EU. Now this in turn lures the entire EU to invest freely in UAE. So this is obviously leading to more growth and again inbound investment, and therefore leading to growth in terms of requirement for tax professionals as well in turn. So it's a bit all connected. So taxes is not really trying to pull the country down, but it is trying to take the country a notch higher. So in a
Yep.
way, it's like Hani also mentioned, is it's now less dependence on the oil revenues and more dependence in terms of different streams of revenues, tax being one of them. So I would say it's not trying to kill each other; it's just complementing the economy of the country.
Amazing. And what industries or what sectors like really growing? So if I want to find an opportunity, like what sector, what industry should I look at?
So Hani, you want to take this or should I?
No, no, please, no, no, please.
So I think in terms of the industry, to what you see most in UAE is construction, right? Whenever we go on any road, we see that okay, the infrastructure is growing rampantly. We see so many new players coming in the market. Now this practically is like a domino effect, right? There will be companies who will, or there will be individuals who will try to set up property asset management kind of companies. We'll see asset protection structures, we see holding structures, and then comes the actual developers, builders, and then following there these industries kind of booming. Again, in order to support these industries, we see service industries kind of parallelly trying to support these sectors. With service industries, there is obviously a need for finance and funding, so we see a lot of financial players entering the market. With financial players, we also see insurers coming behind them. So it's like everyone is trying to support each other, and the economy again kind of comes together. So I would say there is a lot of opportunities: construction sector, logistics, financial services sector, insurance again. So these are a few big sectors that comes to my mind. Pharmaceutical as well. We see a lot of pharma giants, investing
Yep.
heavily in this region as well. Again, Saudi Neom project. Again, a lot of constructions
Yep.
and support and allied activities going on. So huge growth for logistics again, and infrastructure as well. So yeah,
Amazing.
feel free to add. Yeah.
Honey, would you want to add anything to this?
No, no, not really covered. Maybe I can add only two other sector like retail and technology. Also, they are booming
Okay.
also in the
Yep.
market. So
Yep.
one of the industry also they can require more hiring in the future, or now, even now started.
Okay, cool. I have two more questions. Okay. So, as a tax consultant, what is the best and craziest part of your role? Okay. And how do you maintain strong relationships with clients in the consulting space? Because it's so client oriented. Honey, would you want to take this?
Yeah, see, it's a difficult question also because now, especially in the market here in UAE, or even other countries, KSA or Qatar, uh, clients always have this perception that you only dedicated to him. Okay, so whenever he needs something, he expects that you read immediately to respond to him or to support him. Of course, a consultation or advisory industry, it's not easy, especially when you have a new regulation in place. So you can imagine you're trying to satisfy both yourself first to understand what's changing is happening. How can I build or increase my knowledge? How can I cover this? How can I respond this? And from client, he's in a hurry to know and understand what's happening now. This one
Yep.
release, what, how it can impact me immediately. So managing the client, maybe this is the craziest part. Now, yeah, from 100 clients, you will not find all of them they are happy or satisfied. But at least we are doing our best to
Yep.
make the client find that his expectation already met or already achieved by from the advisor. The
Yep.
only challenge that I, from my personal view, and
Yeah.
Nirav also, I will leave to him, that I can see now in the market, the ongoing changes and updates.
Yep.
And sometime even it came, I will not speak negatively about the guidelines or circulars. This is another story, technical one. Maybe you can have another session for it or a workshop for it or webinar, whatever. But even some of them is come contradicting what before happened or in the regulation,
Yep.
original regulation before. So it can also impact our uh, what you can see performance even as a consultant,
Yep.
because now you have this one treated like this and immediate and suddenly you find another treatment came from
Yeah.
either Minister of Finance or local tax authority. So this is a major
Yep.
challenge that we can face now in the market. How to can absorb it quickly, how to understand quickly, how to can you change it or clip it with the previous one, and what can happen, how can it impact the client. Okay? This is, I think,
Yep.
this from my perspective, the both craziest and challenging part now.
Okay. Cool. Nita, would you want to take this as well?
Yes, I think the best part is like I mentioned, I come from a hardcore indirect tax background, but then I ventured into corporate tax as well. So I think this is the best part in this region, that because it is still young and growing in terms of taxes. It's professionals who are keen on learning, keen on let's say learning new things. They could definitely venture out and learn the new taxation. I feel that's the best part. The craziest part is matching expectation versus the reality, right? So because we see the policy initiatives are very strong, but implementation of those is going to be something that we still need to monitor and watch out for. Like Hani mentioned, right? Sometimes we
Yes.
read the law, we have our own sets of interpretations, and then the authority also gives their side of the story, and matching the two
Yeah.
at times is quite crazy. We have seen unique outcomes coming out from different kinds of scenarios, which is interesting, and I really enjoy both the ends of it. So I really enjoy doing that. And I think how to maintain relationship with the clients, it's indeed a tricky one, because I've seen, I remember like seeing one meme on Insta which says that, okay, if you want to build like a very beautiful masterpiece, you need time, right? And the client, they come and they ask you to deliver that masterpiece in a very limited number of hours or time, which is where the challenge lies. And again, matching expectations is the key, I would say, to meet client expectations. But it's a area of hits and misses. We're not always able to satisfy everyone and keep everyone aligned and happy. But it's a process, so we keep on doing it. We don't get demotivated if we are not able to deliver at times. We try to push ourselves harder and get it done.
Yeah.
So
Amazing. Honey, this one is for you. Okay, I got a lot of questions on this. So, what would you advise someone who's confused between consulting and industry? So, a lot of consultants want to go to the industry. They are like, this is too much now. They want to move to the industry. Okay, they want to relax a little bit. And a lot of people from the industry are like, oh my God, it's a little slow. They're not too sure if it's going to be too slow for them, or if they lose touch with their importance as a consultant. So, what would you tell people? You've been in both.
Yeah, very sensitive one. So, see, both have pros and cons, for sure, but it will be based on the candidate decision and what he likes more. Advisory, see, advisor in the market now, or advisory business in the market now. Uh, I can see, I can say it's much better because of what? Because
Yeah.
you are dealing with many tax changes now. It's a new law, new regulation implemented in the country. Okay, so you are dealing with various industries, not one, on only one group. So you can gain a very huge experience with a very short time. 1 or 2 years, you can gain experience with 10 years with someone who stays in another very stable tax regime country. Okay, but I saw also in the market some people, they are not willing to work on under the advisory pressure from dealing with the client, how to satisfy them, how to bring more business to the firm.
Yeah.
And some people, they are okay, they are happy to do. In the industry side, maybe I always say this one in advisory, you have two pressure, one from uh, firm itself and one from the client. Okay, both. In industry, you will have only one pressure from the company management or CEO or CFO who you
Yeah.
are working. You are not dealing with many clients, only one internal in-house team. However, in industry also, if they rely on you, so it will be very, very big responsibility, huge risk, because you can destroy the whole business with one simple advice to
Yeah.
the team. Yeah. So it's a mix and pros and cons. But I saw many people moving from industry to advisory. They didn't like, and they returned back to industry. Vice versa, people, they were in advisory, move to industry, and they want to return back to advisory. So it depends on the yourself, what you are like more. And no, by the way, is for the new people or new candidates who want to work or enter the market, it's not bad, it's not harm you to try. If you didn't like this one, you can go for this one. If you feel yourself here in this place better than this, you continue. because this is the life. You keep trying and you keep learning till you find something which can satisfy you. Then you will be stable and stay with it.
Amazing. That's well said. Cool. Because you're like the perfect person to answer this question typically. But Nirav, would you want to add anything? Have you ever thought about, I shouldn't be asking you this, but have you ever thought about moving to the industry?
No, I mean, just to share, not a lot of people know, but I ventured out as well, like Hany
Oh,
did. It was for a very short period of time, but I worked with Barclays Bank in my career. I worked with McKinsey and Inc. Back in India, and it was although a couple of years. But what I personally feel is that it's a completely different ball game altogether. While in from a consultant's point of view, it's more about trying to add value and give all the tools to the
yeah.
companies and organizations to venture out and implement a few things. When we are on the other end of the table, it's more about implementing things yourself. You have received the advice and you now need to go ahead and implement it, and implementation is far challenging at times than sitting and advising at times. So we could go ahead and tell our clients that, okay, go and register on the portal before this date, but registration may have certain challenges, which is what they need to handle now. Again, we can do that for them, but it's just an example. So I believe that there is I do not undermine the job on the other end, and I think there are several challenges on the other end as well. It's just you need to be ready for it. At the advisory end, there is so many updates which comes in daily. Like for example, yesterday we got the partnership guidance, right?
Yeah.
So again, every week we get something new, especially on the Fridays, let's say, from the FTA, and it keeps us busy. We work on the weekends, right? Hani does that all the time. So it's like we're always there on our toes, and on the other end, they are on their toes with something else, right? So it's a bit
Yeah.
of a balancing act. But yeah, it's a good to know a little bit from Hani as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. That's great. Okay, so I mean, any closing message for those who are curious or want to know more about the UAE, or anything that you want to close this conversation with? So we have a lot of questions, but that's mostly on like finding opportunities. I'll address that separately. But any other closing message that you all have?
Yeah, maybe one from my side.
Yeah.
Uh, so many people or many candidates, they are get frustrating
Yeah.
when they apply for a jobs.
Yeah.
They text me on LinkedIn, or they asking about this one. I applied for many jobs, but no one got interviewed, but no one hired me. So it's
Yeah.
only one simple message to them. Does it mean that no one hired you till now, that you are a bad person? But maybe the criteria these people are looking for, they didn't find with you.
Yep.
But you can find also another or better job or good job with another someone else. So just be patient, and don't be panic, because I can see also some people, they are very panic. Yani, some of them even funny. So someone sent to me today night, and tomorrow morning they text me any update. So what should I? How come during my sleeping time I can update you if something happens in the market or there is an opportunity? So
Yeah.
they are very panic. Maybe they are very interesting to get a
Yeah.
job or move, but be patient and
Yep.
have a confidence in yourself, and look for something that can fit exactly to your capabilities, not higher. Because if you move for something higher, their expectation will be higher than your performance, so you will not
Yeah.
survive. And it's not bad that you move in a medium firm or even a small firm, but you can contribute very good,
Yep.
rather than to move to another bigger one, and you will be like this size, very small size inside the organization. No one will recognize you. So this is
Yeah.
one tip for the
Amazing.
candidates.
Amazing. Amazing. Neerav, would you want to share?
I would just say that, regardless of whether you find a job in this market or not, if you want to enter this market, it is important to be prepared. So I would say that at all times, whether you are appearing for an interview or not, just be prepared. Keep yourself updated with what's going on in the region, because you want to enter this market and add some value, right? So if you're prepared, when an opportunity knocks, your door, you will be lucky, right? You'll get lucky, and you'll get the break that you want. So I would just say be prepared.
Amazing. So, from what I understand, it's a great market. it's a sustainable market. You have to have a horizon of 5 to 7 years, not just like, hey, 1 year. You have to think long term, and it's basically it's a great space to be in. So anyone who's looking for it, like they're in the right zone. So yeah, that's about it. So have I missed any questions? I guess we've covered everything, right? Almost.
No, I think yeah, all. But is it okay to add one last point, please?
Of
Because also
course,
we do
please.
it
Love
from
to.
my experience with the candidates.
Yeah,
Again,
absolutely.
I'm emphasizing that if you want to move from other country to UAE or KSA or Qatar, whatever country in the region, move to the company or to the role that you are willing to work and perform and add value. Because what I saw that many people, I will not say some, but many candidates, they just looking for any job, and once you get anything, they just move immediately because you just want to move to this country. And after a couple of months, he start to search inside the country for a job. This is not good for him as a
Yep.
reputation in the market.
Yep.
Because in tax market, it's very close. Nirav knows me, I know Muhammad, I know Chantel. So if
Yep.
someone speaks to me, say XYZ, which is working with your firm, he's applying for a job with us within a couple of months, I will tell him this is very strange. So why he moved? So this reputation can be spreaded in the market. So be patient again and move for exact job that you are looking for. Maybe it can be a little bit variance or gap, it's fine, but not like you are looking for A and you find Z,
Yeah.
so you move to Z, not like this.
Yeah.
And don't
That's a
not
great point.
uh,
No, no, that's a great point, Honey, because even I see a lot of people moving, they just take up a role with the intention that they will move somewhere else in the next few. And that's really wrong, even to the company who has trusted you and, opened up an opportunity for you. It's ethically
exactly.
a little, at least wait for at least some time and, then make the decision. So yeah, that's spot on. And I mean, I must thank you both for making the time. I know you all had a chock-a-block day, so thanks a lot for the time. And it's a great weather today. So thanks, guys. Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
thank you,
Thank
Chantel. Thanks,
you.
Narav.
Thank
Happy
you,
to be
honey.
with you.
Thank you,
And
Hani.
Thank you,
Thank you.
honey.
best of luck
Thank
for
you,
all.
honey.
Best of luck for all.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye
Thank
you.
you,
bye.
honey. Thank you, Nirav. Thank you, everyone, for joining in. If you all have any questions, like add honey, add Nirav. I mean, they're almost responsive on LinkedIn. Thank you so much. Thanks a
Thank
lot.
you. Bye
Take
bye
care.
bye.
See you. Thank
Bye
you. Bye.
bye.
Thanks a lot. Bye.